We have got such a good story that I think so many people need to hear about, because this was a huge success in my heart for a little boy, her son, Caleb, that she's going to tell you guys about, to watch him turn around and thrive and get the life that he deserves. But it's got to be huge in your heart too. So can you tell these guys about Caleb?
So Caleb was, he had a very traumatic birth, that we were given a laundry list of all these things that are going to go wrong. In the beginning, he seemed to turn around really quickly, but slowly at about 3 years, 2 to 3 years old, we started seeing the autism. He was on the autism spectrum. He had sensory processing issues and behavior issues, ADHD, learning disabilities, to the point where at 6 years old, they told us he was not ready for kindergarten. So it was really hard. We thought we had everything dialed in. Our food was clean. Our house is chemical free. We'd done all the specialists. We still had, he still struggled with all these things and night terrors, and I could go on.
I do. I literally remember the day you walked in, because it was with her baby, and told me she had a son like this. And I told her the story of the perfect storm and what traumatic birth, I'm glad you said that he had a traumatic birth, can do for a child, how it kind of sets the tone for their life. And when she said he had a traumatic birth, I mean, he lost vitals in the birth canal, and mom was cut hip to hip, and he was out in about 3 minutes, but resuscitated for 15. So pretty traumatic. And the specialists in medical world knew, you know what, he's going to have these issues. I think they even said he might be epileptic, he might have cerebral palsy. I mean, they're talking like a laundry list of here's what you do. So what does this mom do and her husband? They're like gangbusters. They're cleaning up their diet, they're cleaning up their lifestyle, they're doing all the therapies, just trying to get ahead of this. But I do remember he walked in just like crushed because he had tried or sat for an interview or something for the school, right?
Yep.
A private school, and they just were like, he's just not a good fit. This isn't going to work out. And he was just a little bit into his care plan at that point, maybe a month or two, do you think?
Actually, at that point, we hadn't started the care plan yet when he did the first interview with the school.
Oh, okay. And then we gave him a really good care plan, several months long. I'm thinking 4 or 5 months of coming in here several days a week to let his body relearn and repattern something new. Yep. But tell us what happened after.
If I'm remembering correctly, the care plan was about 6 months long total. For the first 3 months, we came in 3 times a week. And after the first 3 to 4 months of care, we re-interviewed at the school. And they told us we had a different child. They did not know what we had done. They asked multiple questions because he was completely different in just 3 to 4 months. The dedication that we had here was worth it, 100%. He no longer struggled with these things. He's no longer on the autism spectrum. He doesn't wake up with night terrors. I mean, I could just go on every single thing I listed before, we now don't struggle with. And not only did he start kindergarten on time at 6 years old, he thrived, and he's thriving in first grade.
That is so awesome. And I loved what you said at one point when you were sharing Caleb's story with another family and said this was a missing link.
Yes, for sure.
There was a missing link, that they had tried everything, and not knowing that if we hadn't evaluated his brain and central nervous system, how it was operating, everything you were doing was fantastic, but he could just do the best he could with what he had. So when that was unorganized and stressed, we needed to be able to undo that. And so when you say 3 to 4 days a week in the beginning, is because he had to relearn something totally new. It's like something brand new that his body has to be able to get accustomed to working. And now that new pattern's ingrained in him, it's a different Caleb. He's still the fun-loving self that he is, but I also feel like the rest of your family was really affected by it too, because I remember you saying that it felt like we didn't get invited to play dates or maybe birthday parties, or everyone had to be like, oh, Caleb kind of gets special treatment because he has behavior issues, and the other kids had a hard time understanding that, and so it's difficult on the whole family. And I'm sure there's so many other families out there that are like that, because you feel really isolated when you have a struggling child, especially when people are judging you. I've got the same issue with one of my sons that got me into this, so I feel the same way, and it's like, it's not a discipline issue. You've tried everything, and knowing that their brain and central nervous system needed the help, and to put that all together is huge. What would you tell other parents who might be thinking thinking the same thing you are, or you were at that time?
I would definitely say don't give up. Don't settle for a life of just getting by or mediocre. Give the chiropractics a try. It's worth every penny, worth every time, the time spent. It definitely was the missing link for us, and we had done everything. And I know there's a lot of moms who just want to see their kids thrive, and they're not quite thriving, even though they're doing all these things. This is what you need for thriving.
Thank you, Kim.